Okay, there we go. Sorry, some technical difficulty. Internet stuff. Anyways, we're here. We're gonna progress as far as we can in the next 3 hours. Let's do this. Alpha now. Alpha now. Coming to Ishgard. Yes, because hell went shit went down last stream. Shit went down.
The dawn's light will shine again. So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything.
Is this a different voice actor? It sounds like a different voice actor.
You must go to Ishgard, as Tataru proposed. I will return to Uldar and set things right.
This sounds like a different voice actor.
Pray, do not be so hasty, Master Alphino.
Lord Orchefon.
I need to know this. Often voice actor. Is a different voice actor. Okay, it is. Apparently in A Realm Reborn, compared to Heavensward Onward, they change a lot. Over the course of this game, they do change different voice actors. It is a different voice actor. Okay. Anyways.
Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely.
Yeah.
There is no need to act alone.
Like Harshafar right here. Our best buddy, Harshafar. Hi, Tataru. Yes, you're there.
Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience.
That was an awkward pause.
I bring tidings. Count Edmont has decreed that the three of you be taken in as wards of House Fortam. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper. Pray, consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed.
Fuck yeah.
Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there.
Nice. New headquarters. Yeah.
You are more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality.
I can't get used to this voice actor.
The Count is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves.
Yes.
To Ishgard, then. Together.
His mouth didn't move.
There we shall carry on the Scion's legacy. There we shall begin anew.
Fuck yeah.
Here!
I'm not gonna be able to get used to that. I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need but state your names, and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then. You got it, Harshafar. My boy Harshafar. Onward to the gates of judgment. Guess I don't like it. In between expansions from last time I played to now, even now, legitimately, different voice actors, and it caught me off guard immediately. What? Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, the wind is massively picking up, and that was like connected to all the issues we were having at the beginning of the stream. Wards of House Photos? Yes, you may pass. Proceed to Ishgard. Yeah, new city state.
And so they came, at a friend's behest. Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood.
Oh, Nanamo.
With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, with hope yet in their hearts, they came.
Yes, Ishgard.
To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Kurthus. A great and proud nation, devoted
Hey,
to
Andy, how you doing?
the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the faith, her walls ever bristling with the sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses.
You're
A
just
land
doing,
that after
I
1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace.
completely understand. It's been a long day. But at least you're doing instead of doing nothing.
Through gates long
Oh my
closed, the warrior of light and her companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened, Andy. I saw you here, and now I'm crying. I'm doing all right. There's something in my eye, and the weather. It just happened to be, of course, it always happens to me, that the weather all of a sudden was fine, and now it is utter shit, and it's causing the stream to not go the best of routes. Yeah, we're hitting 30-mile-an-hour winds, and because of that, it is making the stream lag, and we're dropping frames. Well, we'll do our best. Anyways, house photos, manservant. Yeah, us fine. And whenever we have high winds, everything is usually fun on our end. But whenever we try to stream the ability to stream plummets. It's just specifically streaming. Everything else is fine. Streaming stuff, like watching stuff, playing games, all of that perfectly fine. It's just streaming that acts up. Greetings, Mistress Astera. On behalf of House Fortez, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you all come with me... Huh. You thought we'd come with you. We're gonna explore Ishgard first. We got things to unlock, like these little waypoints that we gotta do. Come on now. There we go. Yes, I'm gonna keep streaming, but if it gets significantly worse, then I'll have to stop after like half an hour, which I really don't want to do. I really don't want to have to do that, but we'll see. I'll just have to keep an eye on how the status is. If the number keeps going up, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. I will say, yeah, today, what was it? I worked at 7 a.m. Then, you know, we realized I had nothing to do at 7 a.m., so I came in 2 hours early for nothing. And then the person who was supposed to open called out. So then I had to do all of that, and so yeah, it's been a very fun day. Super fun. Ultimately, I ended up having to essentially work an extra 3 hours more than I was going to originally work. See, I would agree with you. I would 100% agree with you, Andy, but I was already there. So it's like I couldn't just say no because I was already there. So it's like, well, he's here, so we'll have him do it. I gotta. Oh, yeah. Casey, what was it? Casey essentially break violated by 1 singular minute, and yeah, rude one. Yeah, I can't say specifics, yada yada yada, because technically I'm not allowed to, but rude things were said. That's all I'm gonna say. We're literally just gonna run around and collect all these before we continue the quest. Ishgard is so beautiful. Tell me who I need to trash talk. I'm on it. Casey, if you're making a really big comment, remember it has to be little small paragraphs, because we've learned from Andy now that if you make too long of a paragraph, it won't show up on chat. Which I don't understand why. I guess I do understand why, because like they don't want people sending massive chats and then blocking, like especially like in bigger end streamers, they wouldn't want people sending massive chats and blocking the entire chat log kind of thing by copying, pasting, spamming and shit. So I understand, but it still sucks. Look at how beautiful this is. Yep, that's exactly what happened. See, Casey can say whatever she wants. I can't technically do it because I'm on stream. The break violate. So at our work, we are allowed to work 6 hours without a lunch break. Essentially, like we have a 10-minute break that you can take, and if you work more than 6 hours, you have to take a 30-minute break, which is a full-on lunch break, etc., etc. Well, Casey worked 6 hours and 1 minute, and so because of that, she got in trouble because she didn't take a 30-minute break. Because it's in the records and yada yada yada. So technically, she could get in trouble. She could get in big trouble for it by 1 minute. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, instead of 5 hours and 30 minutes, ours is at 6 hours, and yeah, because of all of that, that's why they got mad at her, because she was 1 minute over. So I guess the equivalent for you would, yeah. And then we need to go and actually make Ishgard our home. So we just teleport here really quick. Yeah. I want to set it as my home. Set home. Yes, I don't care about Rodania anymore. Our home is Ishgard. Our home is Ishgard. And we are going to the last vigil. Let's go. Oh yeah, it was dead slow today. Not only did I have to all of a sudden open, okay, when originally, you know, I was opening comes in at 9 a.m. I came in at 7. I also had to open alone, which typically there are 2 people, but even then it was literally nothing because how slow it was today. Okay. The Warrior of Light and her brave companions walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I've waited for this day. Allow me to present to you my family home, the Fortos Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. Anything for you, my buddy. Anything for you, Harshafan.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
Look at that mustache. That is a weird mustache. He looks like a catfish.
I, Count Edmond de Fortomp, do bid you welcome.
Thank you, Count Edmond de Fortomp.
As wards of House Fortomp, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
In case you just go back to the beginning of Witcher 2 and just replay that on repeat, and then eventually you'll forget all about what happened at work.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
I cannot get used to I'll probably get used to it over time, but oh my god. The completely different voice is really jarring.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Yeah, we're so cool. That's our
Do not worry
reputation.
yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Makes sense. We'll do our best, Edmond de Forton.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city?
I already did that.
You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Don't worry, I already did a tour. We're fine. We got everywhere set in stone. We leveled up and we got this move. Rush toward an enemy and deliver attack with opponent's team. Ooh. That's good shit. That's good shit. Okay, we're gonna need to shift some stuff around then. We move that there, move that there, move that there, move that there, there, and there. This is gonna take some adjusting, but we'll have to deal with it. Rush attacks are always good. House Fortin. Though our friends in House Fortin have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much of their hospitality. They liked it, I would go and just like, ooh. It is only proper that we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. Casey loves Witcher George and Exlatalis.
It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk.
Would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall, of course, do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. But I grow forgetful in my dotage. There is something I must give you ere we part. The documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. My lord. Yeah, for those who don't know, yeah, YouTube got rid of the dislike button, and now you can't. Well, they got rid of the dislike counter, so you can't see how many dislikes a video has. Only the person who posted the video can see the amount of dislikes it has. It's dumb. Those documents identify you as wards of House Fortin. Given that our borders that remained closed for decades, many of our countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Fortin. Let us hope it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Bella, Tataru, the city awaits.
Let's go.
Can't even know because I can't see the user rating. That's fucking serious. Sorry. Oh, you're all good, Andy. I don't care if you cuss. It is stupid. Like I feel like, especially like the dislike button is something that was very important, so you could actually know if it was like, because it was one of the arguments I saw was like, let's say there is something is broken with your computer, okay? Let's say something's broken with your computer, and there are like 60 videos telling you, oh, this is how you fix what's wrong with it, but only one of them actually tells you how to actually properly do it, and the other ones are viruses. Obviously the ones with the viruses would get lots of dislikes, and the one that actually would help gets like no dislikes and a lot of likes. Well, you're only going to be able to see the likes, which can be falsified. You'll never actually be able to see the dislikes. So how are you supposed to trust whether something is truthful or not? It's a very, very important tool. And if anything, it just makes YouTube way more dangerous on trusting anything on YouTube. It makes it way more dangerous. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hoplon, from whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the holy vault, though all other sights pale in comparison. 'Tis only meet that you see it first. I shall then show you around the jeweled crozier, where you may purchase all manners of goods and services before descending to Foundation's Aetherite Plaza, if there are no questions. It's the same with movies and games. I never look at the reviews. I always look at the customer reviews and the user reviews. That's all I look at. Yeah, exactly. Because critics can be bought. Customers can't, you know? Critics can easily just be bought to say, oh, this is great. I know it hurts a creator's feelings when they get dislikes, but I don't care, because if it's bad, then it's bad. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's called, if something is bad, learn from it and try again. That's all it is. People need not be as sensitive as that. Hoplon, so named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. Magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Can't take a dislike when you have bad stuff. You don't have to spine to be on. Exactly, Andy. Exactly. Beg your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Thornton's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alphanau. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thordan the First to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the jeweled crozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elias, our master of the markets. I feel like they'll remove the comment section at some point because of all the bullying and hating in the comments. It'll be deemed as too inappropriate. Oh, give it time, KCO. Give it time. It's like those dystopian shows that comment like, oh, eventually, you know, everything's going to be deemed... What was it? The best example, Fahrenheit 451. It's, you know, the entire, like, oh, it hurt too many people's feelings, so the only thing is we'll ever allow people to ever see are like one is like it's like a single paragraph of the Bible, three sentences from Moby Dick, and then some other thing. Yikes. Yikes, Andy. That's so sad.
Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all.
Makes sense. I'd downvote it too.
Ah, wards of House Fortos. How very interesting. Count Emond has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the customs of foreigners, should you be uncomfortable. Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever you desire, it can be found in the crozier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall see soon.
Our next destination is the Aetherite Plaza in the Foundation. If everyone is ready. Yes, sir. Mr. Tour Guide, sir. To the Foundation. Yes. No one really hangs out in Ishgard anymore. So I wouldn't expect to see a lot of people here. The primary people that we're gonna be seeing here are people that are also doing this main story quest. I'm gonna be honest. Also, I realized we're level 54. We can do the next samurai quest after this quest right here. So that is what we'll do next. Ooh. Have you ever watched the video Fall of Fallout 76? I've never seen it. You should definitely post it in Discord, and I will watch it after streaming today. Definitely post it. And here we have Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetheryte, it'd be wise to do so now. Okay, what gear we got? Our gear's better. What does it even look like? Eh. No. That looks dumb. That looks super dumb. That's just a reskin. I'm a ninja. I'm just a ninja. I'm straight up from Naruto, dude. I got the headband and everything. I'm just from Naruto. No, we're gonna go with the money. We have to go with the money, of course. Okay. I will. Oh God, Casey, don't. No. Okay, before we accept this next quest, we're gonna go to Ul'dah and we're gonna do our main story quest. We're gonna do our samurai quest. No, wait, it's in Gridania now. No, it's in Limsa now. Our samurai quest is in Limsa now. I just remembered. They moved location. Has too many players, so we can't go to Limsa. I want to go to Limsa. Limsa. We made it to Limsa. So there are apparently so many players in Limsa I couldn't get in the first time. Oh, I can see. Yep, I can see. Yep, everyone's trying to do their shit before maintenance goes down at 9 o'clock our time. Yeah, we have to go up here though. Let's get the fuck out of this area. There's bards playing music that I don't want to get DMCA'd from. I don't trust bards. Try to hang out in main cities as little as possible. Lily Bright Light. What does your outfit look like? Oh, okay, that's, it's a mix of the starting outfit and some other stuff. Oh wait, no, it's literally just the female human starting outfit. She's level 8. Not a bad outfit. I'm gonna be honest, not a bad outfit. West. Can I get head pats too? Okay, Andy, if you come here, Onyx will give you head pats. That's what'll happen. Onyx will give you head pats. Okay. Yes, Jester hats. Jester hats. Jester hats. The Jester hats have jiggle physics. Oh, I thought they did. Guess not. Let's take a little walk. Yeah, exactly. Just take a little walk. It'll be here in no time. It'll be here before the next day. As for our next destination, mayhap we should decide it together. What else can we be found nearby? Yeah, on the back of your polar bear, true though. Well, the Sky Steel Manufactory stands to the west. Our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The Holy Stables, where chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, 'twould be best if you avoided that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphanau. Hold your nose when ye pass the broom, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. Who are you, sir? Trying to mug me?
You misjudge me, sir. I am no lord, but a humble traveler.
Oh, come to see the sights, have ye? Take a turn down the hoppin' and grop at the statues? Well, if you've got a mind to learn how to better half live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight. If your nursemaid'll let ye. I see that as an invitation. My humblest apologies, Master Alphanau. Pray pay that drunken lout no mind.
Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this forgotten knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Bella. There are a few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say what we might learn of recent events? Then I'm coming too.
Sure, Tararu, sure. You're probably gonna be like the queen of them and beat the shit out of all of them. I know you gotta reach the lands to get to the Pacific, but you also have to cross all the Atlantic in America to get to California. Interesting. Good point, Casey. Good point indeed. Which would take longer to walk? That's the question. Because we're talking about walking, keep in mind, we're not talking about flying. Which would take longer to walk? Going from where Andy is through the Atlantic, or where Andy is through the Pacific? Because if you take a plane, that's cheating. Yes, walking across the Atlantic, yes. No, I just got those fancy water shoes, dude. Those fancy water shoes that let you walk on water, you know? No, what you do is you get that liquid that's like water repellent, you know? So the water just kind of flows around you, and then you walk across it because the water wouldn't want to touch you, you know? It's hydrophobic. So it's not going to want to touch you, so it actually parts the ways like Moses. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern.
But recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments, Master.
Guildermont, just Guildermont'll do. I am flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse.
Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I couldn't not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors.
Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulators maybe, but not locals. Folks from the Broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality, mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves.
You speak at the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the Broom, if I may ask?
Because when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it.
I see.
And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few people are still sore about that mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below. And something sharp in your boots, just to be sure. Onyx's return is stepping on my laptop. Well, you know, tell him to stop.
I shall take your word to heart, sir. Master, for now, I think it'd be best if we return to Fort Ho's Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Mr. Taru, I'm sure that's it is out of the question. My lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, at least of all a maiden.
But Tataru's Tataru, dude. Tataru's like, he's gonna rule this place. You just keep in mind, she will rule the entire place.
What are you up to, Tataru? Look around, Alphanal. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come in. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stones by myself? If I had to give for every unwelcome caller I'd driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine.
Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay a unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment.
That settles it then, Tataru. Bella and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by Link Pearl if you require assistance. I will.
It feels like riding polar bears sounds cool in theory, but they wiggle it a lot, so I can't be a comfortable ride. I've never even seen a polar bear. They don't exist on the mainland in Norway, just on the island outside the mainland called Svalbard. Svalbard? Svalbard. Sorry, I completely read that wrong. Svalbard. Polar bears are cool though. They'll like rip your face off. Thinking of polar bears and ripping people's faces off, it just reminds me of those videos where people try to instigate bears to like get photos of them, and there was like an incident where someone died trying to do that. And it was like, bruh, it's just karma. Don't fuck with bears, dude. They'll straight up eat you if you poke at them too much. Like bears, they don't just like. I'm pretty sure they don't just like. I know, obviously, I'm you know, not educated in the slightest about bears, but I would assume most bears would not just come at someone. You know, I've seen videos of them not doing that, but anyone or anything that is poked enough will attack. People are dumb.
Welcome, welcome, Mistress Astera. Shall I show you inside the manor?
Yes, sir. There's a woman at a zoo who wanted to take a picture of a polar bear, so she hopped over 2 safety fences to get a picture, and guess what? I'm assuming she died. Exactly. Like most things, like think about like sharks. Sharks are crazy. Like people are afraid of them. Yada yada yada. Most sharks won't just attack you. You know. They have to be instigated in some way or in some nature to do so. Like even if it's just like, oh, you're bleeding. Oh, shark smells blood. They attack. That's still something, you know? But they're not going to just go after you randomly. Everything has a reason for what it does. That's just how life works. And most of the time, it's humans trying to fuck around, and guess what? They find out. They find out what exactly happens. Pulver chomped down on her leg and was trying to pull her through the metal bars, but it couldn't. Serpingly, she barely kept her leg. Oh, God. Of course, of course. Tell us then, Master Alpha now, does this god meet you with your expectations?
That which I imagine pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. And when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy.
The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. The Emmerich has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness. Yes, sir. Yes, very serpingly. Calling her an idiot and stupid like they are correct. Yeah, literally super dumb. That is a most gracious offer, Master Affanau. You are guests in my home to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation. Let or lean. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. What a nice guy. Good. What would you have us ask of us? What I've heard, you are an intelligent, persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions for foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Mistress Sarah, I could ask for no better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a woman with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid Artorial and Manamalaine in their duties. I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duty myself. I have no need of our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? I see both sides to this. Hold your tongues, by the Fury. The two of you will conduct ourselves with dignity, befitting our station, and show Mistress Esther the respect she deserves. This is the woman who slew Gaius von Belsar and some half-dozen primals besides. She is not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand girl. Brings up a good point. I don't give a shit about your glory, dude. I'm just here to do quests, because I'm an adventurer. If you can pardon them their impropriety, Mistress Esther, I should be much obliged if you would lend up my sons a helping hand. My thanks. Fury willing, they may even learn something from you. I like the brother with the hair over his eye. He's sensible. But seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of his opportunity to put us to work. By granting us patronage, our house Forteus has taken a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, whilst simultaneously keeping his sons in check. It is an agreement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, mayhap even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals, we shall further our own. We're gonna take the money. Okay. This is where it splits. We got Emmanuelaine and we have Artoriel.